So we back. For me, it's the same day. For you, it will most likely be the next day when I drop this part. I said I wasn't gonna say anything else, but you say that under the assumption that there is nothing else to say right then. But when you are led to say something else, then you say it. So I want to make sure that I say this. I want to make sure I say this because I want to clarify all of this. Years have passed and people act like they still don't get it. They still seem to not have comprehension skills. And that is the fact of the matter, that people do not have comprehension skills. I'm not upset because a person disagrees with me. I'm not ecstatic when a person agrees with me. You should be able to tell that by my personality. Somebody may comment on one of my posts and we may have just got off the phone and I may not even say nothing, or I may say something. That stuff doesn't move me. It's good to hear, but it's not like, yeah, I need to hear from the people. I need the praises and accolades of the people. That's not me. That's not my personality. So I'm not upset about people disagreeing. I'm not ecstatic because, oh yeah, see, they agree with me, so that makes me right. No. I'm not mad that people are defending him, defending Stephen Darby. They have every right to defend him. At the end of the day, we will see who was right and we will see who was wrong. Y'all know how I roll. If you don't, now you know. What upsets me the most, is people don't want to deal with the facts. Let me ask you this question. Which is the higher court? Is the court of God the higher court, or is the court of this world a higher court? We know the answer to that, and we know what most people will say. Oh, obviously, come on, man, the court of God, the heavenly court of God, God's heavenly court of justice. The arguments that some of you are making or have made over the years, you would not take that same argument and speak the same way that you did, and speak that same way in these white folks' court. Because we ain't running the court systems. They running the court systems. The arguments that you make, the point that you make, they would not hold any weight in today's court system. They will probably lock your butt up for contempt of court. They'll probably throw you out and say, "Are you serious? This is the argument that you're bringing. These are the points that you're making." And then you will be charged with slander and all these other things. That is what upsets me the most. That most of the people, well, for me, all the people that I ran into, maybe one or two, they didn't agree with what I said and they gave their reason, or they just say, "Hey, I don't agree with what you're saying. You're wrong." Cool. But most of the people who are speaking stuff and they're going into detail telling me why I am wrong, I'm more upset about them, than pretty much anything else. Because they're not dealing with the facts. They're not dealing with the facts. Now, you can make an argument about why you don't agree with me or whatever, but to come against what a person is saying, you have to refute what that person is actually saying, the claims that they are making. If a person says, "You murdered so-and-so," and I have the evidence, then your lawyer, or if you're representing yourself in the court, you must prove that it wasn't you, or at least in this court system, bring forth enough reasonable doubt where you're not convicted of said crime of murder. That is what upsets me the most, that Nobody's addressing the facts. They're coming with emotions. They're coming with all these, what you feel. I don't care about how you feel. It's a lot of people that feel a certain way, but they're still liars. Just because you feel a certain way don't mean nothing. I feel a certain type of way sometimes too. Does that mean that feeling is right? I feel like looking at a girl with a big old booty when she's swinging that thing in the store. Does that mean that her feeling is right? Or did he just say that? Yeah, because I'm real. I ain't fake. I ain't no fake pastor. I don't know what y'all used to. I know what y'all used to. But y'all used to them fake pastors. Ain't nothing fake about me. I don't do all that fake stuff. Sometimes I feel like looking. Like, man, she got a big old booty. Or whatever. Because I know what women do and how women get down. I already know what it is. My flesh wants to look. And if any man sit there and say he don't want to look at no beautiful woman and be like, good Lord, he lying. He lying, you need to get away from him. Because if a man see a beautiful woman and she got her booty and breast out, he gonna want to look. Now the question is he gonna look, or is he gonna look in a lustful way? Because you could just be walking and then see a woman and you be like, good Lord. And then you go about your business or whatever. But I'm talking about, you got an opportunity to walk away and not look or whatnot. You catch her and like, oh, okay. And then you go about your business. That's what I'm talking about. You want to get that second and third look or whatnot. Sometimes, guess what? My flesh wants to do that. Like, I'm not finna sit here and lie. Now, y'all want me to get her and flex, then y'all need to pay me for flexing. Because y'all pay everybody else for flexing. I'm just saying. All these other pastors, they get on these YouTube platforms and social media platforms and they flex. And y'all pay them money for getting on here flexing. So if you want me to flex, you need to pay me. Because I ain't doing it for free. What I will do is I will be honest with you. I will be truthful with you. For free. I will love you in Christ and give you these different things that God has blessed me with for free. I ain't got to be doing this. I keep it to myself and be like, you know what? You know what? To hell with these people. I could be like that. But, you know, God's grace. The sacrifice that he made for us. So that's what upsets me the most. People don't want to deal with the facts. You can disagree. You can say I'm wrong. But prove I'm wrong by dealing with the facts. Dealing with the evidence. Rather it's direct evidence or rather it's circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence can be used in the court of law. So if you are to do that in today's court system, you have to do that, right? Of course. How much more in God's heavenly court? How much more in God's heavenly court? So if I'm wrong in the things I've been saying, and things I said about Stephen Darby, I still have my day in court, in God's court. And if I'm found guilty, then I will be found guilty and the charges will be just. The charges will be just. Because y'all say God is righteous, right? He's a just God, right? So that means that the charges will be just. But check this out. What happens if you're wrong? Well, What happens if you're wrong? That means that you are guilty of many, many things. Slander, bearing false witness, lying, perjury, murder. Because if you are a liar, you're a murderer. Because words kill people. Words get people killed more than the actual murder does. Because murder comes from somewhere. Murder is the action of that, but it stems from words. Somebody said something to you or did something to you because of what's in their hearts. So yeah, I still have my day in court. But so do you. So do you. So what I'm saying is, regardless if you agree or disagree with me, you still must deal with the facts. And if you're wrong, Lord, I pray for you. I pray for you. Because if you're wrong in the stuff that y'all have said to me over the years, without giving any type of evidence to support, just, you know what you're talking about, you're a devil, blase, 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 blase. And then y'all get mad at me, or you wonder why my videos be long. Did I ever tell you I used to want to be a lawyer? I used to want to be a lawyer at one point in time in my life. So when I'm explaining myself, if you ever notice, it's not too hard to notice it, I explain in detail. I break things down just as if I was in a courtroom. Because you know what? Technically, I am in a courtroom. I'm in the courtroom of God. Don't the Bible say the angels are watching? They're watching us. They're recording what's being said. So I have my day in court, and you will have your day in court. Another thing I want to say is this whole knowledge thing. People bring up Stephen Darby, and the main thing that they bring up, it's funny when you think about it. The main thing they bring up is his knowledge. The main thing they bring up is his knowledge. You know what the main thing that people bring up about me isn't my knowledge? Isn't the wisdom that God has given me? We talking about people that know me and people that don't really know me. We talking about people that grew up with me and people that may have just met me or have known me for a long time. You know what the main thing they say about me? Dang, I put a little Walmart. Missed my turn. Turn around right here. Y'all give me a second. Trying to go get some fish. If I miss my turn. The main thing that people say about me is, man, this brother right here, he the real deal. That brother right there, you can see the love of the Lord in him. I mean, you're a real soldier of the Lord. You remind me of the Apostle Paul. You remind me of Peter. You remind me of John the Baptist. You remind me of so-and-so in the Bible. That is a compliment. I'm getting compliments, and I've always had this happen. You got the old folks spirit. You got the old soul, You preach like the old folks. Back in the day, hellfire and brimstone. That's what you remind me of. Who'd you learn under? Who taught you this? Like the Apostle Paul. Lord taught me. Lord called me. That's the main thing that people say about me. You're a strong soldier of God. I can tell. The main thing they say about me isn't my knowledge, isn't my wisdom. It's how I carry myself as a soldier of God, and that I remind them of different people in the Bible or different old school preachers. And it's interesting because what the Bible say, seek the ancient ways, the ancient paths. Where they going? Just seen my wife. But what is the main thing that people say about Stephen Darby? So much wisdom, so much knowledge. It's not about the gospel. It's not about his love. The main thing they speak about with him is his knowledge and his wisdom and his understanding that he had. Why is that? Why isn't the first thing they mention about him is his love? You know, you hear people say, oh, he was a real man of God and everything. Okay. But that's not the main thing that people say about him when he is brought up. It's not. It's not. Go read the comments. He's either MOG, man of God, which is loosely used, or his knowledge and his wisdom and his understanding that he did have. I don't doubt the man didn't have no knowledge and no wisdom and understanding. I don't doubt that. I don't say he didn't. I actually say he does. Now, I do say he learned. I learned some things from him. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I didn't learn nothing from him. But the crazy thing is, some of the stuff that he was preaching, he got from my ministry. And those who have been around this ministry, they know that. Those who have been around my ministry and then they are familiar with him, they watch some of his videos. Like, come on, man, you know when somebody got something from you and they say it almost verbatim the same way you said it. I know my words, I know my spirit. It wasn't just a few things that he was saying. It's a lot of stuff that he was saying, because some of the stuff that he was speaking about, I was speaking about way back then too. Because nobody was really speaking on that stuff. See, y'all just think I ain't been around and I ain't been speaking that stuff because I don't get a lot of views. There's a reason why I don't get a lot of views. The same stuff he been speaking about or was speaking about, I've been speaking about that. It's not new. It's just that he has gotten more views, more people watching and stuff like that. But if you go back and watch my old videos and see the stuff I was talking about, CERN, before people even knew what CERN was and all these different things, I've been talking about that stuff. I've been on that stuff. I grew up on that stuff. And the reason that I grew up on that stuff was because that's what the Lord had me grow up on. I'll say that for another video. But yeah. It's not just a matter of having the knowledge and everything. You gotta have that true gospel. It's all about the true gospel of Christ. That's what it's about. And the only people that are shocked by the stuff that he was saying, like, oh my God, like, wow, is those who were probably still on milk, those who were ignorant to a lot of stuff, and mostly a lot of people who grew up in the typical Christian church where these things were not taught. Those are most of the people that are shocked by the things that he was saying. Now, here's the issue with that. We all learn at different levels. So I'm not knocking if you don't know certain things. That's not what I'm saying. But when you get to a certain age, you get to a certain spiritual age of maturity, what do? You start to be a Berean. You start to search and seek things out for yourself. So you're not just sitting here watching somebody's videos for yourself. You're doing your own research. You're doing your own research. The Lord is giving you your own revelations. You see what I'm saying? So when you start doing that, then when you go watch his videos or watch my videos, then certain points that I make or he makes, you add to what you have. So when he was saying this stuff, I'm like, okay, yeah, yep, oh, that's a good point. But it didn't shock me because I was already receiving knowledge and receiving wisdom and receiving understanding from the Spirit. So most of the people that are exalting him because of his knowledge and wisdom, because they lack. So the question you must ask yourself is, why do most of them lack this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding? It isn't because it's not available. It's because they don't want to do the work that's required. They don't want to put the work in. They're lazy. That's why I don't take them serious. You tell me that you legit, but you don't even do the real research. You don't take the time to do the research for yourself. You're lazy. And you want somebody to take you serious. Stop it. All you got to do is go on their Facebook page and see. You can tell when somebody put in that work. Even if they aren't legit. You can tell when you have what we say, a formidable opponent. You're like, okay, I gotta come correct. I can't come sideways because this is a real deal opponent. The people that are exalting him because of his knowledge and wisdom he's brought, oh my God, is because the lack of what you haven't done. You haven't done what you're supposed to do. So you have no choice but to exalt this man. Because those of us who know, we know. We watch him and like, okay, yeah, I was preaching that or speaking about that 5 years ago or whatever. The stuff that you see me publicly speaking about, I've been speaking about it. I just got on YouTube and I started doing it. And I told y'all my testimony about YouTube, how I got on YouTube. I was watching people's testimony videos. I said, oh, I should make a testimony video. I said, you know what, I'm going to make a testimony video. And I kept on being convicted by the Lord to make the video. Literally, I would wake up and the first thing on my mind was make the video, 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 make the video. I would go to work all day. That was the only thing in my mind. It was like somebody just kept on tapping me. All day tapping. I tried to get up my mind, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Make the video, make the video, make the video. And then I made my testimony video. My first video ever on YouTube was my testimony. And then I was like, okay. And then the Lord gave me another one. He said, okay, do a video on this, do a video on this. And then I got more and more comfortable, and the rest is history. That's how I got on YouTube. I didn't get on YouTube because I wanted to get on YouTube. I got on YouTube out of obedience because I promised God to do something. He just knew that it was going to go and become what it is today. I didn't. I wasn't looking to get on YouTube or anything. But I was already being prepared for it because I was already preaching before I got on YouTube. I just wasn't calling myself a preacher. The people that I was speaking to, they was calling me a preacher. You sound like a preacher. You sound like a pastor. God had already told my ex-fiance and showed her what I was going to become. She had told me, said, you're going to be a preacher. You're going to be a pastor. I'm like, no, don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. And not only my ex-fiance, but other females that I was talking to after the fact, they would say the same thing. And I was like, I always say, no, don't put that on me. I don't accept that. Until eventually I couldn't run from what God had called me to do. So that's how I got to the point of where I'm at today. But when people are speaking these things and everything, you know, when I was still wet behind the ears, you know, I was like, oh, you know, I still get excited when different things are revealed to me, but I don't get like I was when I was on milk, you know. And when I was on milk, I was still eating, you say, liquid foods because of the stuff I was studying. And the reason for that, my own personal revelation, is because there are not a lot of true men and women of God in these last days. There aren't a lot of true men of God these last days. And there is especially not a lot of black men who are Hebrews and truly love the Lord in these last days. So I was literally given, like you say, a crash course where when I was on milk, I was being fed deep things. I was being fed things like CERN. When people wasn't even talking about CERN. My wife can tell you about that. That I was speaking about that stuff even before I was making videos on it. And then when it came about, then, you know what I'm saying, everybody started talking about it. But go back to my old videos. Them old videos, and you would hear me talking about that stuff. Deep stuff. Why do you think I always say how deep you want to go? That doesn't come out of nowhere. Excuse me. I know I talk too fast sometimes. So again, when they're speaking this knowledge, I'm not like all giddy and stuff. Because those of us who are studied men and studied women, we're there, okay, we're discerning their spirit. We're listening to what they have to say. We're taking in what they have to say. But we're not like shocked at a whole bunch of stuff they have to say, because we're like, okay, yeah, we studied that. Oh yeah, I remember that. Okay. Oh, that's a good point. I'm gonna use that in my sermon. Oh, that's an excellent point. Let me go back and rewind that and play it again. Let me write it down. Let me take notes and add it to my sermon. So that showed me that most of the people that are defending him and defending other people, y'all are not doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's like a groupie in a room full of celebrities. When you ain't been around celebrities like that, you, ooh, this so-and-so. But when you are a celebrity and you mingle with the celebrities, or maybe you don't even, maybe you're not even a celebrity, but you are around celebrities, it's like, what's up? What's up, man? What you got going on? You got some businesses and stuff? Yeah, man, I heard about it. I need to get in on that. You looking for some investors? The language is different. You're on another level. So it's the same thing in Christ. When you get around these famous pastors, or these people who have a lot of knowledge and wisdom, you're not giddy like, oh, look, did you hear what he said? You know why? Because you're in the same circle with them. You belong there. So when I'm listening to Stephen Darby, when I used to, or the rest of them and whatnot, I'm not giddy because I belong there with them too. My ministry speaks for that. You shall know a tree by its fruit. It's not like I haven't been speaking these things. I've been speaking these things. So my fruit says, okay, he got the receipts to prove it. But like I said, y'all have to do that. Exalt them and defend them the way that y'all have done, and continue to do it because of your lack of how you say it, of virility. your lack of spiritual virility, because you ain't putting forth no seed, no fruit. You ain't bringing nothing forth. So you have to ride another man's jockstrap the way that you do, because if you don't, then you're nothing. You're a fanboy or a fangirl. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a fanboy. I'm in the game. I'm on the field. I'm on the bench. I'm coaching. I'm doing whatever the Lord needs me to do. Now there's respect. All that fanboy stuff, nah, bruh. Nah, bruh. Just because a person gets a certain level of notoriety or exposure, doesn't mean that they are necessarily a better preacher or pastor or a better athlete than this other person that isn't getting a lot of attention. Because I want my attention where it matters. With God, with the Most High, with the Lord Jesus Christ. When he calls me in front of him and say, hey, y'all remember him? Let me show you who he really is. Let me show you the things that he really did in comparison to the people that y'all exalted. Don't the scriptures say that that which is highly esteemed amongst men is an abomination in the sight of God, in the eyes of God? The people hated Christ, and Christ is a physical Jew. The people hated Christ, and Christ is a physical Jew. But the people love Darby. That showed me that y'all don't believe the Bible like you say you do. If they hated me, they would hate you. Christ was hated by his own people, but Darby is loved by his own people. He's loved by the masses of black people. And Christ is black, and black people hated Christ to his guts. They hated him so much that they delivered him up to be killed. I think that's a good point to close it out at. Y'all keep on exposing yourself. Keep on exposing yourself, and you're gonna get what you sown. So with that being said, I'm out.